Hello, strong people. It is week 4, day 4 of Iron Grizzly Classic Prep. I'm a little bit worried of my water bottle falling when I hit the brakes or something. So, as you can tell, I am not in my gym. If you can't tell, I fear you may not be looking at the screen. So, today we are going down to 580 barbell down in Monaca, PA. One of the best strongman gyms in PA. And don't get me wrong, I kind of, honestly, every strongman gym I know of in PA is really good. We just have a lot of good strongmen here in PA and Ohio. Honestly, it's all in this area, so pretty cool. Anyway, we are doing an event day down there today. I'm going to get a training session with my buddy, who I will be competing against. Actually, I think both my buddies are coming down. I don't know if the other one is, but I think he is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. So I'll see both my buddies. But only one is competing the Iron Grizzly with me. Or I should say against me. Whatever you want to call it. And it's going to be a tough show. So it's nice to come down and train with other like-minded individuals as usual. So it's event day. We got sandbag toss, I believe, as long as it's not raining. Which it's not right now, but I'm also driving an hour away, so it might be down there. I don't know. It's like, I actually did look at this ahead of time, so it's like 35 pounds for 3 reps on bag toss, 45, I think it's 45 or 40, one or the other for 2 reps, and then a couple sets of that, I think. And after that, we got the squats, the 30-second, whatever, 30-second rest. I think it's 8 sets of 2 today, so I think I'd like to match. What is that card? Oh, never mind. I think I'd like to match what I did last weekend, because last weekend I had to throw in that audible because it was so wet that underneath my squat rack was soaked and slippery. I couldn't squat there, so I threw in that audible where I went heavier and just didn't use bands. So if I could throw on bands today and match that, the way they did last week, that'd be pretty cool. So that's probably going to be the deal. I probably won't get to record that just because it's a whole long set, and I'm in an actual gym this time. So I'll record what I can though. What else? We got squats. I think there's something after squats before the actual moving events, but I don't know. So then there's the frame or wheelbarrow arm over arm. I'm pretty sure we're putting those together today. So it's going to be like a 40, 50 foot wheelbarrow run, which we're probably going to use the frame. It's just easier. The wheelbarrow is a pain to load. And then probably set up the arm over arm next to it. So it's gonna be my first time putting those two together. And the way that it was described to me is the wheelbarrow / frame is gonna be pretty easy. I'm just kind of almost like a buy-in for the arm over arm. But I've never done a single wheelbarrow, well, other than real life. I've never loaded one up in the gym and done that. Every wheelbarrow I've used in the gym has had 2 wheels on it, so you don't really have to stabilize left to right. What else? So that could be a little bit challenging. Maybe not. I won't be able to go as fast probably, but I don't know. Once I'll probably try it. I'll warm up on it at the show, obviously. Or at least I'd like to. I don't know if I'll get to, but I don't know. But there's that into the arm over arm, which is supposed to be very heavy. So that first pull is going to be the most important one. Not that the next 8 pulls aren't going to be important, but I want to get that big first pull right, because that can get you a pretty good advantage. Let's see. And after that, I think I have yoke, like 3 or 4 sets of 820, like competition style runs, 820 for 20 feet, which I like. I like that it's a switch up. Usually yoke is 50 feet. That seems to be like the general consensus, like the standard for the event. Now, when you do that, and you run a local show, the problem is you're going to be stuck at this 700-ish weight cap type of thing. Because most novices don't, amateurs are not going to really go over a 700-pound yoke most of the time. Anything, you're getting up to 800 for an amateur, that's not a bad yoke. But whenever you shorten the distance, it allows you to go heavier on the yoke because you just don't have to carry it as far. So I think that's cool, because I've never seen an amateur show really that has 800-pound yokes in it. Because I don't think most amateurs can really carry it 50 feet. I could be wrong about that. But either way, I like seeing a little bit heavier yoke for a shorter distance. That's a nice little twist on the event without it, completely switching up the yoke. So I like that. I'm gonna have to be quick off the starting line. Like that's a must. There can't be any wobbles. I think we start under the yoke. I'll have to double check that because if you don't, that's my bad. If I need to check that really bad actually, because that could switch things up. If you don't start in the yoke, you got to get your you got to get your timing right. Jumping in, getting under, and then picking it all within your time. Too fast, you mess up. Too slow, you're gonna lose. So, got to be just right. And then we have sandbag loads today. I think it's like, I forget exactly what it is, but it's like 2 something for a few reps, 250 for a few reps, 300 for a few reps. Like simulating the run with like this couple of the middle bags. So that's gonna suck, but oh well. I like loading stuff, so I just don't get to do it all that often, it feels like. But anyway, I don't have a whole lot else to say other than I'm just gonna cruise on down to 580 and take my pre-workout out there, and then put in a good session with my friends. I'm excited. It's been a long time since I've been down here. I'm trying to think. I don't think I came down during the off season at all. And then I tweaked my back. I don't know. Maybe for OSG prep? I don't know. Anyway, something else I'm going to try to do today. Because they have a foo bar down here, the bar that we're using at this show, it's not the same exact bar. The bar we're using is like a 10 or 13 foot long version of the foo bar, just because it looks ridiculous and it makes things look cool. So they have the regular foo bar down here, so it's going to be the same bar width, bar diameter, whatever you want to call it. So I want to see what straps work best on it, because it's thicker than a regular bar but thinner than an axle. So I want to see what feels best, what works. Not that I just want to know leading into it. I can bring all my straps with me. I have like 5 sets, but I just want to have that. I don't want to make that decision game day, unless I feel like calling an audible, which I've been known to do recently. OSG Regional, I trained with a belt on the Hoosfell the whole time, but I didn't wear one for that event because if you rested it on the belt, you lost your points. And I had a pretty comfortable lead on the podium, at least. My buddy and I, we were tied. Not tied. I think I had him by 1 point. So me having him by 1 point, and we were both like 8 and 9 points clear of third place. So we had to mess up really, really bad to lose our podium spot. So I really just wanted to get enough points on the board to keep that podium spot, because first, second, third all didn't matter. They were all going to OSG. Obviously they matter. You want to win. Like, obviously I want to win, but this was like, do I risk losing all the points to maybe go further, or do I just take the points for sure and maybe not go as far? So like, I'm not going to go 200 feet with a belt on just for them to say, oh, you rested on the belt, 0 points. That's a complete waste. So got rid of the belt game day, ended up winning the event anyway, won the show. And then something else I thought about for OSG, during my deadlift prep, I wore my like Cerberus compression shorts underneath, They make it feel really nice wearing the suit. However, they were preventing me from locking out the bar. I'd get above my knees and I'd get stuck. It felt weird. So game day, I went back through. I was like going back through my memory banks, and I was just like, what did I do differently from here to here? And the only thing that, made sense, the only thing that I did differently was I wore the Cerberus shorts underneath. And I love the Cerberus shorts, but for this, they just do not work for me. So game day decision, I didn't even bring them to the center whenever it came time to deadlift. I was just like, we're committing to this. This is what we did before. This is what worked. And then I almost hit 3 reps. I wish I would have fought for that 3rd rep a little bit harder, honestly, but I don't think it would have changed anything. So, whatever. 2 reps at 820, though, and a half, I guess. 2.5 reps. Not that we count halves, but that was way better than anything I did in training. So, couldn't be happier about that. So, I've talked for 11 minutes already. I'm just going to turn on the Bluetooth and jam out for the next 50 minutes or however much I have left. So, I'll talk to you guys on the ride home. All right. That is an event day done, week 4, day 4. That was pretty good. I didn't do everything I wanted to do or was supposed to, but what I did do was promising. So, start out bag toss, like I said. I didn't record too much, like I never do down there. So, but bag toss was good. It felt fine. Felt a lot better throwing on a good surface, hard concrete or asphalt, whatever. I guess it'd be asphalt. But either way better than throwing on gravel, throwing at my setup. It's kind of funny. I've accidentally trained myself to come back to a central spot whenever I throw the bags. And what I mean by that is, obviously the bags are lined up next to each other. So like whenever I grab the first bag, I come back, I throw from the central location, and then when I grab the last bag, I throw it from the same spot. So I don't throw it from where it's placed. I step back and like to the left or right, depending on which end of the bag run I'm at. So I don't know if I'm losing time because of that, because I'm still stepping back regardless. I just happen to be coming back to the center like I would on my setup at home, because the bar isn't as wide. So it's kind of weird. I don't think it's mattering, but it's one of those things like I think I'm probably wasting time, maybe, I don't know. I'm not doing it intentionally, so I don't know. I don't want to overthink it, but it went good. No missed throws, no nothing. I did almost a comp run today, minus 1 extra bag, and that won't be much of a problem, hopefully. So that was good. Moved on to squats, 8 sets of 2. For whatever reason, they had like 2 safety squat bars, but I only had 1 today, and like everybody was trying to use it. So I used a bar that I've been wanting to use. I used it's called a CB4, Rogue CB4. It's their version of a Buffalo, Yukon, Bison bar. They're all the same thing. A big bar that's got a bend from, pretty much sleeve to sleeve. 38 millimeters thick, which is thicker than just about any other bar, besides an axle. But the squat bar is like 32 millimeters, but there's off ones out there that are like 36. But this one is supposedly like the same bar that they used at the Arnold's, Ohio, whenever they did the squat event there a couple years back. There they called it like the double T bar or something, but then they put it into production and they called it the CB4. I don't know why they called it that, but you guys probably couldn't hear me that well. I don't know why they call it that, but it's different. it doesn't really feel much different than my Titan Yukon bar, besides way better knurling. But it still has, because it is a slight camber to it, it still has that shakiness at the top, which I wasn't really expecting from a thicker bar that's more well built. That reminds me, I gotta look up how much that bar weighs, because I don't actually know what I was squatting weight-wise. I have a general idea, at least 365. So I'm guessing that bar is probably 55, 60 maybe. So it's probably like 375, 380. But I'll look it up. Plus bands. So that bar is tough to use. Didn't feel bad. It's just the camber is kind of weird because when you grab the bar, I grip on the outside of the J-cups. So whenever I stand up, my wrists kind of hit the bottom of the J-cup, so I got to be aware of that. That's just what it is whenever you grip it out like that for the most part. There's ways I could work around it, but it's not a big deal. But I have an idea for that. Anyway, moving on from that was fine. 8 set to 2, not bad. What was after that? Yoke. Yoke was good. This was the first day that I've trained at competition style. Previous weeks it's been 40 feet, 7 second max, 10 second max, whatever. But today it was legitimate comp weight, 20 feet, 20 foot runs. I ended up going a little bit over comp weight, 855, I think. Yeah, 855. So what? 35 pounds over comp weight. But 20 feet. I really just wanted to get the start right, and my buddy's gonna be tough to beat on that. I think he's faster off the line than me for sure. It looks like. I did a little bit heavier, but that's it's 35 pounds. It's almost negligible on a yoke. So it's gonna be it's a quarter mile sprint. That's pretty much what it is. Drag race terms, I guess. But it's gonna be quick, like 4 seconds. I don't actually know how long it took me. I think my buddy said 4 seconds, but I would be willing to bet his was, split second faster at least. And I say split second because it's gonna be, whoever's timing it needs to be spot on for it, because if we're gonna be that close, the reaction time of the timer could, change up who's first and second in that event. So that's just how it is in strongman. Don't get me wrong, there's some higher end shows that have better ways of doing it, I think. Like a laser type of thing to know when you cross the line or whatever, but I don't know. That's a lot for a local show, so hopefully the timers are on their game, because that's going to be over quick. Hopefully. And then I ended up not being able to do I probably could have, but I ended up splitting up frame/farmers from the arm over arm. And when I say split up, I mean I didn't have anything left in me for farmers, or not farmers, arm over arm, which I probably should have done. When I say probably should have done, I mean I definitely should have done it, because it's probably one of my weaker events, and having it be after the wheelbarrow and having it being really heavy, I probably should have prioritized that rather than sandbag. But farmers was a big win. So if you've been keeping up with my my Saturday trainings, I've been having a really big problem with my farmers, my frame, because I can't grab onto it. My hands slip. Well, today, this is the exact same farmers, keep in mind. Same brand, same model, same everything. Mine are older and a little bit more well used, but it was a night and day difference. I can assure you that it has most certainly been my farmers and not me. Because today, I did 325 for 40 feet with an easy hold at the end. Easy. Super. Like, I could have done a heavy farmers today if I wanted to. So I do not, either, or I'm peaking grip well. I don't understand, because it didn't feel anything like my farmers at home. So much different, so much easier. 325 per hand, easy 40 feet. I actually slowed down at the end, started walking it to the finish line, and then held it, just to, be sure that I'm locked in. Yeah, great. So I'm not worried about that at all. Only thing I'm a little worried about is having it being like a true wheelbarrow, where it's one wheel instead of like two. So the balance thing could throw me off a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not worried about. I'm not going to overthink it. Should have done arm over arm. Definitely didn't. I'm going to be kicking myself for that probably. And then as far as sandbags go, I wasn't able to do a full run. My back is just, I'm fatigued. Between the yoke, the squats, the farmers, the heavy deadlift earlier in the week, I'm kind of cooked. So I did, some easy reps at like 300 on the bag. I gave 400 a shot, but I could tell there was no way I was going to pick it up. I just didn't have the gas for it. Hopefully I do game day. I'll be honest, whoever loads that 400 is a better man than me, because I am not confident in my ability to load that as the very last thing in a show after 7 other bags in that medley. That's just insane to me. But all in all, not much to complain about training. It was nice seeing my friends. It was nice training with my friends. I won't be back down there again until I'll probably train for regionals, if I'm gonna do regionals. Yeah, I really don't know, because that's what's gonna have to happen. Oh, regionals is in July. I keep thinking it's June. It's not June. It's July this year. So I actually have some time. I was gonna say I'm gonna have to start prep for regionals right after this show, but that's not really gonna be the case. I mean, it'd be like 2.5 months out. So I'd probably start it'd probably be like a 2-week off period. Off. You're never really off. And then like a full 2-month prep for that probably. Well, I don't know, because we have to start prep for the Pro-Am at some point. I'll have to talk to my coach, because I'm worried that I'm going to overdo it whenever it comes to July and August, because July is the regional, August is the Pro-Am, and then July till the end of August, I think it's a 2-month thing. Yeah, pretty sure it's 2 months, is the OSG online qualifier, or at least that's how it has been years prior. So I'm expecting that to be the same. And based on, that's going to be my only option if I want to do OSG this year. I'd like to hear, confirmation about where it's at. I've been told where they think it's at. Pretty reliable source, so maybe not. I don't know. But I don't want to, the end of the year is really up in the air, depending on how regionals and then how the Pro-Am goes. If I do regionals, I don't know. It sounds like my body wants me to do it, so we'll see. But until next time, go out, get strong, stay strong, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.